Welcome to Throwback Thursday Time. I'm your host, April Wilkner.
And I'm Mercedes Yvette.
And we hope you're ready to have a fun journey with us down memory lane back to the early 2000s.
Where we interview some of your favorite guests and people who inspire us. We should just start with glasses on. I bet, I have a feeling he's going to wear sunglasses. I don't know. I could be wrong. Or he's going to be like in his super relaxed vibe with like a t-shirt on and a chain. I bought a chain just in case. And then reading his books on art and music and philosophy.
Oh, hold on.
Orange scene.
Boom.
Oh!
Should I be wearing sunglasses too?
I go, he's either going to show up with a chain or sunglasses.
Your bestie was making guesses. I said no sunglasses, but I said she was right about the chain.
Yep.
I wear my chain, every single chain, even when I'm in the house.
Yeah. Welcome to Throwback Thursday Time.
Right.
We are so excited to have you on as a guest. You're my brother from another mother. You're
My
our
sister
best.
from another mister.
Yeah. Okay. Charles Michael Davis is an actor. His breakout role was on The Originals. And not only are you an actor, you're an artist, you are a photographer, and an everyday Renaissance man.
I came up with the term Renaissance man because I thought it encapsulated all of your various artistic endeavors.
Oh, thank you.
So
Let's jump right into your throwback pick.
that is the photo we've selected. Do you remember what this photo shoot was for? What went into choosing the styling for that?
I think switched at birth. So I was on like a vegan raw diet because I want to look as like young and fresh and like slim as possible. Because I remember, at the time I obviously wasn't in my teens, but I remember my nephew was like 16, and I was like, "Hey Keith," it's like, "How much you weigh?" He's like 140 pounds. I was like, "Oh God!" And I got that suit from I think Zara.
I think there was no fail there. It was hard to find a fail photo of you.
It's this or that time.
We came up with a special Charles Michael Davis edition. So today we're going to play This or That, the 2000s Music and Movies edition. Are you ready?
Okay.
So you just have to choose, like it's kind of like the song, you can get with this or you can get with that. Which one you prefer?
Ooh, this or that, this or that.
Fave throwback rapper, 50 Cent or Eminem?
Eminem.
Ooh, did not think you were going to go there.
Okay.
Eminem. He was so angsty. Helped me get through some dark times.
Yeah.
I can still remember like it was yesterday. I remember my hands were sweaty, my knees were weak.
Yeah, throw the bars.
Okay, fave female pop rocker, Pink or Avril Lavigne?
Like Pink. I remember that performance that she did at the Grammys where she came down from the rafters and she was.
What I loved about Pink was back then in the early 2000s, she had a voice and a look that to me was unlike any other female musician that was coming out then. She would look like Blue Cantrell or something. And I was just like, whoa, okay.
Thought she'd be black.
Or something, not white.
Ride in my beamer. Da, na, 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 na.
Okay, moving on. So fave throwback horror film. Fave throwback horror film, Saw or The Ring?
I mean, they're both pretty good.
I mean, do you have it for creepy little girls or do you have it for people getting their shit cut in half?
Creepy little girls.
Okay.
People always tell me I look like the creepy woman in The Ring, too. I hate it. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. When you do that.
Yeah. We're going to play a game.
It's time to play Who Am I?
For all lines you've said. So the object is you have to say what the character is and what the show is.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna nail it.
This one is, I heard the announcement. If you don't have a date to the prom, I would love to go with you.
That's so Raven when I played Trevor. Yeah.
So, like, what was that like being on That's a
That
Raven?
was my first job. And the week before I was doing extra work, which was terrible for me. So, you go from one job where they treat you like cattle, and then all of a sudden I'm hanging out in the green room with Raven, and, we got whatever snacks and anything we want. And that from then on, I was like, it's only moving forward. I was like, this is a life.
You come home with a hunk of metal sticking out of your face, mom's gonna disown you.
I said that? I can't believe I said that.
That was your line.
That switched at birth when I played Liam, and that's talking to Vanessa Morano's character, Bay.
Yeah. What's cool about this is you learn American Sign Language for this role.
Yeah, I learned a little bit. I learned a few things that Katie Leclerc taught me, such
You remember
as...
anything?
Yep.
What?
I'm like, it's not mine. You gotta get it.
Oh, you throwing up gang signs? What is it?
What are these like? What do these look like?
Quotes?
Bunnies?
People?
Bunny. Yeah, they're like bunny.
Oh, bunny.
So one day Katie looks at me. We're sitting down, and she goes, "I got you figured out. This is you." She goes. I was like, "What does that mean?" He goes, "These are bunnies."
Talking?
And one day she goes, "All day."
Oh my God.
Oh, like
All right, here we go. There are a million reasons why not. Because you don't do a C-section in cath labs.
Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
That's right.
Dr. Jason Myers.
Oh, yes. And that was in 2013. That is pretty good.
What was the line again? What did I say?
There are a million reasons why not. Because you don't do C-sections in cath labs. And then the other doctor says, don't you want to be a baller? Don't you want to something?
Ah, that was with Sandra Oh.
Sandra Oh, yes.
Yeah,
love
that other actress.
Listen, I'm the worst when it comes to like knowing names. That's April's job. On Grey's Anatomy, okay, it's 2013. You've had a little bit of practice. What was it like now going on this huge show that has been on forever? Like this would be like kind of the beginning of your career, like as a serious television actor.
Yeah, that was a turning point because I was hired on to do a recurring role, and so that was like a big thing, just to be a guest star. But yeah, I had one moment in particular where we're doing a table read, and there's like Patrick Dempsey and Ellen Pompeo reading, and they're funny and hilarious, and like I had to like pinch myself because I was sitting at this full-on table read with all these great actors that I grew up watching their show, and I was a part of it. And then it gave me a lot of confidence because then I went into the next show that I did, which I'm sure there's a line or
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay.
I remember that you did Grey's pretty much right before that big audition.
Yeah, that was like a huge deal. And I remember visiting you in Atlanta when you were on another show, and people saying, like, this guy coming up to you in the grocery store saying, "Hey man, I really loved you on Grey's Anatomy." And you're like, "Oh, thanks, brother." It was just awesome because I was like, "Oh man, like you've made it." Like this was like such an incredible thing to see, like your best friend just keep going, and just like getting recognized.
And I remember, Charles, it was right around after Grey's Anatomy. It used to be the three of us would be out and someone would come up to us and ask you to take a picture of Mercedes and I.
Mm-hmm.
More like early 2000s. And then one year when you guys made your annual trip to come visit, someone came up and we all kind of positioned, assuming it would be that same spiel, but this time they asked us to take a picture of you. And we were like,
oh, what
for all those years
yeah.
of my quiet servitude.
Mm-hmm. And it was a really fun moment in time, I feel like, because it showed us that transition was starting to happen because your first recurring role hadn't aired yet, but the Grey's Anatomy had generated enough buzz that shift happened, and it was kind of cool to have known you long enough to have experienced both.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah. I remember that.
Super proud. This show is dear to my heart, and we'll explain why later.
Okay.
But this line is, "I will betray you. I asked, begged, and you left Davina to rot. You put down Lucian because he was coming for you. for your family. But the thing is, you made, and then it goes on and on and on. And I, oh my God, you can't write all of this
Oh yeah,
down.
that's
No,
a great
that's-
monologue. You're doing it justice too. You're killing that. I was getting hyped. I know what it is, of course, because you were there
I was.
when we were filming it. Yeah, it's the originals, Marcel Gerard. We were on the bridge. That was my character. What was it, season 4? The character gets his heart ripped out and falls off the bridge.
Yeah, so I went to visit Charles in Atlanta, and he took me to set that day. It was the longest day of my life, and I hung out with the director's son pretty much all the time. By the way, his son was like 10 or something.
He was crushing on you.
Oh, he was so adorable. But this was a really, this was very wordy. Like, how was this experience being on the originals? Like, all the lines you had to memorize and things like that.
It was a lot of fun because they also try to make it like very Shakespearean. So it's not just wordy, but it's very passionate, and there's a lot of dynamics at play. But we actually block shot that, meaning we actually shot like 2 or 3 scenes together in one, shooting in one direction. So not only did I have to have that monologue memorized, but parts from the scenes leading up to it. But yeah, because of that, I knew that we shot that way, and that I liked the dialogue. It made it easy and fun to prepare for it, actually.
So a little back history, April. I was like, I told Julie, my other friend, like, I'm obsessed with Vampire Diaries, because at the time it was like a teeny bopper show, but it had like gorgeous men on it. Like, why not watch it?
I think you got to meet them all, huh?
I did. I played it real cool though. I was like, nice to meet you. Yeah, cool.
And then, of course, Mercedes cannot meet a British person without trying to adapt an accent herself.
Luckily, I played it cool and I didn't do any of that.
Thank God.
So I mean, you still have fans around the world loving on Marcel, wishing they could marry you, have their babies and everything.
Yeah, you've been reading my Instagram comments.
Yep. And there's still a chance, ladies. He is single.
I had to boot a lot of ex-girlfriends because they were not April and Mercedes approved.
But we keep our opinions to ourselves until after.
Yeah.
We let you make your own mistakes.
We let you fly, and then when you've come down to the ground, we reel you back in, and they go, so here's what we were thinking. What we both love so much about you as a person and an actor, and of course, one of the reasons we wanted to have you on the show is that you're such a great example of an actor who I think has found a great balance between the business side of the industry and the artistic side of the industry. So if you were to, in summation, give an aspiring actor advice about how you've been able to do that, what would you say?
Let's see. I think it's commitment first. I think it's not just commitment to being an actor, but if you commit to being great, that sets the tone and that starts the approach off. Like the story, before I moved out to LA and was going to be an actor, I was going to school at Miami University in Ohio, and I was a decathlete. And we had this freshman, and he was a hammer thrower. And he had just started throwing the hammer when he was a junior in high school. So he'd only been doing it for a few years. And one day we were sitting down having dinner, and he asked me what the world record in the decathlon was. And I was like, at the time, it was like 8,000 something points. And I think I averaged like 6,000. So I was like 2,000 points off the world record. And he's like, are you trying to break the world record? And I was like, are you joking? And then he goes, so then what are you doing then? Like, what are you doing it for? And I thought about that, and I was like, oh, I never really thought about it that way. And I asked him, I was just like, well, what about you? What's the world record in the hammer? Are you going to break it? And he told me exactly what it was to the meter. And he said, yes, that's what I'm training for. And he did. He trained differently. Well, I always noticed he trained harder. He trained longer. He would do things differently than everybody else. He would watch what he ate, what time he went to bed, what time he got up. And when I moved out to LA, I remembered him because those words stuck in my head. And then I looked him up and found that he was the NCAA national champ in his junior year. So in 4 years, he was the best out of all amateur athletes. And that's when I was like, okay, he was right. Like, but so that's what I would say to anybody is, you know, figure out what you're doing it for, and then find out what the best is and aim for that. Yeah, I think you'd be surprised at how far along you get.
So we always have a ending question, a closing question. I guess everybody wants to know, what's one thing that you're not good at?
Because our joke is everything you attempt, you master. Piano, painting, photography. So, damn it, Charles, what do you suck at?
I suck at the things that I just haven't tried yet.
Oh, that's such a safe answer.
That's right.
He threw that right back at us and it exploded.
It exploded.
No, I'm sure there's something I'm not good at, but
Is yours best friend? Can you think of something?
yeah.
This is a good question. Oh, yes. He is not the best at hosting a party.
What? That's bullshit. I was at the party.
Hold on.
Rewind this.
Evidence
Let me
supporting
rewind this.
us. Yeah, I do remember this. You threw a party in LA in a beautiful mansion.
Oh, he said
Oh, yeah.
People, and there were yams,
sweet potatoes.
yams in the oven. And we were like, Charles, you got to order a pizza. Say though, you have improved at hosting. But that
He's
was-
improved, but
Yes.
it's not always good.
I'm sorry, you guys are my guinea pigs. That's the big secret. I wasn't born this way, super talented and fashionable and all these things. I had to work at it.
Or anything that is coming out or that is out now that you'd like to promote, and where can fans and friends follow you?
The only social media I have to follow is Instagram, and I put my pictures and photography up there. Right now, let's see, we'll get back to it once this quarantine is over. Right now on NCIS New Orleans, Younger.
Well, thank you for watching Throwback Thursday Time and letting us spill the tea with Charles Michael Davis.
It's Throwback Thursday time with April and Mercedes.